In the grand, sprawling narrative of human existence, a single, resonant thread weaves through every story of triumph, every tale of discovery, and every chronicle of survival. It is a deceptively simple, three-word covenant we make with our future selves, a sacred promise whispered in the face of despair. This covenant, this fundamental law of all meaningful achievement, is, never give up. These words are far more than a hollow platitude printed on a coffee mug. They are the very architecture of resilience, the lifeblood of innovation, and the defiant battle cry of the human spirit against the entropy of doubt and the gravity of mediocrity. To truly grasp its monumental power, we must journey beyond the surface and delve into the raw, unglamorous, and profoundly beautiful reality of what it means to endure. The odyssey of any worthy ambition begins not with a single step, but with a vision, a radiant image of a distant summit. In the beginning, the air is crisp with optimism, the path is clear, and our hearts are filled with the kinetic energy of a new beginning. But the universe has a way of testing the sincerity of our convictions. The path inevitably steepens. The clear sky gives way to a suffocating fog. The ground beneath our feet, once firm, turns to treacherous scree. This is the first crucible. It is here, in this crucible of early struggle, that the insidious whisper of surrender begins its work. This is harder than I thought. Maybe I'm not worthy. Wouldn't it be easier to just go back? To give up is the path of least resistance. It is a gentle, comforting current that promises to pull you back to the shores of the familiar. It requires no courage, no faith, no grit. But the shores of the familiar are a barren land where no seeds of greatness can ever sprout. Every individual who has ever etched their name into the annals of history stood at this exact precipice and, with full knowledge of the pain to come, chose the harder path. They chose to face the storm. What fuels this extraordinary tenacity? It is the indomitable, non-negotiable power of why. Your why is the engine room of your entire endeavor. It is your North Star in the starless night, your anchor in the churning sea. Is your why the future of your children? Is it the burning, unquenchable fire of a lifelong passion? Is it a vow to honor a legacy? Is it a defiant stand to create a world better than the one you found? When the how becomes a tangled mess of complexity and the what seems impossibly remote, your why is the emotional and spiritual fuel that keeps you moving. A superficial why will shatter under the first real pressure. A profound, deeply personal, and emotionally charged why is virtually indestructible. Before you embark on any great quest, you must define it, write it down, and burn it into your soul. However, the art of not giving up is not synonymous with mindless stubbornness. It is not about repeatedly smashing your head against a granite wall, hoping your skull is harder. This is a fatal misconception. True perseverance is intelligent, adaptive, and strategic. It is the wisdom of the great river, which does not halt its journey to the sea when it encounters a mountain. Instead, it patiently, relentlessly flows around it, seeking new channels, carving new canyons, its purpose unwavering even as its path changes. Never give up means never giving up on the destination, but it demands an almost infinite flexibility with the route. When a strategy fails, you do not abandon the mission, you dissect the failure, extract the lesson, and architect a new strategy. Failure is not a person, it is an event. It is not a final verdict on your character, but rather a crucial piece of feedback. It is the compass that corrects your course. The Japanese art of kintsugi teaches this philosophy beautifully. When a piece of pottery breaks, it is repaired with lacquer mixed with powdered gold. The cracks are not hidden, they are highlighted, celebrated as a part of the object's history, making it more beautiful and resilient than it was before. Your failures, your breaks, are your golden seams. They are proof that you were tested and that you chose to piece yourself back together, stronger and more valuable than before. Consider the myth of the overnight success. It is a comforting fiction. Behind every seemingly sudden triumph are years, often decades, of silent, unglamorous, relentless work. Think of the Chinese bamboo tree. For the first 4 years after it is planted, nothing is visible above the ground. It requires daily water and faith. A person without knowledge of its nature would surely give up, assuming the seed was dead. But in the 5th year, the tree explodes from the earth, growing up to 90 feet tall in just 6 weeks. Were those first 4 years a time of failure? No. They were a time of building an immense, powerful root system capable of supporting its spectacular future growth. Your journey is often like that of the bamboo. The world may not see your progress. You, yourself, may not see it. But in the quiet darkness of consistent effort, you are building the foundation for something magnificent. To give up in that 4th year is to abandon the entire investment just moments before the breakthrough. This long, arduous process is primarily a battle waged in the 6 inches of space between your ears. Our brains are wired for survival, which often means an innate negativity bias. They will present you with a high-definition documentary of your past mistakes and a terrifying, 3D preview of all possible future calamities. To never give up is to become the curator of your own mind. It means acknowledging the fear, the anxiety, and the exhaustion, but refusing to grant them the position of CEO. It is the conscious cultivation of an inner voice of encouragement that can drown out the chorus of doubt. It is the discipline of celebrating the microscopic victories, the one more paragraph written, the single extra repetition at the gym, the one difficult email sent. These small wins are not trivial, they are dopamine hits that rewire your brain for optimism and build the unstoppable force of momentum. Furthermore, the romanticized image of the lone hero battling against the world is another dangerous myth. Resilience is rarely a solo performance. It is a community effort. Your support system, your family, your friends, your mentors, are the lifeline that can pull you from the abyss. Never giving up also means having the humility and strength to ask for help. It means sharing your burden, seeking advice, and allowing others to lend you their strength when your own is failing. A helping hand, a listening ear, a word of encouragement from someone who believes in you can be the fulcrum that shifts the entire weight of your struggle. And then comes the darkest hour. In every great story, there is a moment when all seems lost. The protagonist is beaten, stripped of all resources, and left with nothing but the flickering ember of their will to continue. This is not just a dramatic trope, it is a reflection of a deep truth. Often, the point of maximum despair comes just before the greatest breakthrough. It is the final, most demanding test of the universe. It asks, how badly do you want this? Are you willing to take one more step, even in total darkness, with no guarantee of a foothold? It is in answering yes to this question that heroes are forged. In the end, the ultimate prize of never giving up is not necessarily the trophy, the title, or the destination itself. The most profound, lasting reward is the person you become in the process. The relentless pursuit of a worthy goal is a crucible that burns away your trivialities, your weaknesses, and your self-imposed limitations. It forges in you a core of unshakable self-respect, a deep wisdom, and an intimate understanding of your own capabilities. The person who finally stands on the summit is not the same person who began the climb. They are transformed. The scars they bear are not symbols of damage, but maps of their journey, testaments to their will. So, when you find yourself in the valley of despair, when the winds of adversity are howling and the summit of your dream is utterly obscured by the clouds of doubt, remember this. You are engaging in the most noble of human endeavors. The pain you feel is the pain of growth. The fatigue you feel is the evidence of your effort. The regret of quitting is eternal, the pain of the struggle is temporary. Take a deep breath. Reconnect with the fire of your why. Ignore the overwhelming scale of the mountain and focus only on the ground directly in front of you. Concentrate on taking just one more step. And then another. Be the river, carving your path. Be the bamboo, building your roots. Be the kintsugi master, turning your cracks into gold. Your dream is worthy of the fight. And you are worthy of the dream. Stand tall. Face the storm. And never, ever, give up.